Hello, welcome to Back to the City. Today I am joined by 2 of 3 members of Partition. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. Thank you in return for playing in advance. Thank you in return for playing at this month's Back to the City Showcase.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the cusp of spring. Slightly wishful thinking, but by this time next month it will be spring.
I hope to God.
Yes, I hope to God
Don't
too. We'll
trust
talk a bit
Minnesota.
about gods today.
We will, won't we?
I promise that we will.
Either way, I'd figure a way to fit it in. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But first of all, we have to plug the show,
Absolutely.
which is a celebration of the diversity of the Twin Cities music scene. So it's a purposefully eclectic bill. And I didn't do this on purpose, but in all of the interviews with the bands that are playing, the theme of diversity and bringing together kind of opposites keeps on coming up. And my prediction is that it might come up today too.
We'll see.
We'll see. So we'll get to God eventually, but let's begin with the band name and my favorite lyric. I love the band name and this lyric for similar reasons. This is a lyric from Figure It Out. I am the crack that continues to crumble and divide, divide, divide.
That is honestly genius because that and the band name refer to the same thing.
How so? Can you reflect on that lyric? And the band
Well,
name?
partition is basically me because my father and my mother are like two opposites. And that
it's
lyric.
already happening.
Yeah.
The theme is already
Well,
happening.
that's what the definition of partition is. And then that lyric is like how I'm the crack between those two things.
Right.
So
These
right
two,
on.
Kind of things.
Devil and God.
Right. Yeah. God is here now too.
He's always here.
I love the imagery. Obviously, there's like religious connotations here, and in particular in the song, the title track, "Prodigal Gun," we have "Drunk on the Holy Spirit." My second favorite lyric on the record is, "I met the 12 apostles at the bar. They were pretty big rock stars."
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows him.
So
Even your parents.
What is the significance of lyrics like that and the religious connotations?
The lyrics of that song specifically, that song is supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just making fun of, just being ridiculous, a lot of wordplay and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then that's kind of like what Prodigal Gun means to me. Just like ridiculousness
Yeah.
in a grand way, almost like camp.
Yeah. So the prodigal son, of course, turns away from God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does all kinds of debauched things.
Yeah.
Gets into all kinds of trouble and is slopping around in the pig muck. And then returns
Right.
and is accepted. What is the significance of the prodigal son story? It is just fun and kind of whimsical that it becomes Prodigal Gun, but is there like a deeper significance of it becoming Prodigal Gun?
Well, can I say curse words?
You can, please do. Fuck yeah.
Okay, so it basically means like gluttonous cock.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go.
That's what, because prodigal means like excessive. And but also, and I didn't mean this intent because I wrote this song back in 2014 when I was 17.
Yeah,
I was working at Kmart when I wrote it.
yes.
And but now with the story of the prodigal son, it kind of makes sense in hindsight, just because I kind of went out, sowed my wild oats,
Yes, yeah,
kind of went nuts. Now I've
yeah.
kind of got my shit together and finally doing what I'm supposed to be doing before I strayed from my goals.
Before you were the black sheep.
Yeah.
Stay the black sheep though.
Yeah. Still punk rock.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely still punk rock. Congratulations. You are 2 years sober this month.
Yeah, February 12th.
Yeah. And so congratulations.
Thank
and
We're drinking water.
Yes, exactly. No longer the black sheep.
Yeah.
Over how broad a time span were these songs written?
Some were written in 2014.
Yeah.
And then others were written in 2018.
Oh, okay.
I would say, let's see, Drugstore Anthem, Prodigal Gun, Shut My Mouth, Figured Out.
We're sorting the wheat from the chaff.
Those are the Like ones when I wrote in 2014.
2014, yeah.
And the other ones were written in 2018. Those are more like drug breakup songs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is the significance for you, like existentially, like coming back to these two batches of songs that are related to periods of your life that are in some ways quite different from the present?
Yeah.
What is the significance of returning to? It's interesting that the prodigal son returns, and in a funny way, you're returning to these songs from this earlier period and performing them. What is that experience like for you?
Well, I don't know. I guess it feels good in a way. Like every time we have a show, I can just kind of express my almost grief for that time period.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Basically that, and
love that black sheep too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accept the black sheep.
Right, because I'm still me.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the
I've
black sheep
also
is pretty cool. It's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've written
Seriously.
about 5 albums, but I have a very specific order.
Yeah.
Like I'd already written 2 albums in between the 2014 songs and the 2018 songs. But in 2018, I was starting to feel like angsty and upset again, like I was when I was like a senior in high school. So I kind of returned to that kind of genre of writing. So that's how they kind of combined.
Yeah. Awesome. I was so excited to dive in the deep end with the theme of partition that I didn't introduce anyone. So you were Taylor.
Yeah.
You were Taylor Nice. And who do we have here?
I'm Seth.
Seth, and you play guitar. And you were discovered at a house show.
Yeah, I was found in a box.
Yes.
Said free guitarists.
We had to take 2 people to pick them up.
And the we is you and Evan, the
Yes.
drummer. So you knew Evan through the internet
Exactly, yeah.
and flew you spent all your money flying to Minneapolis.
I sold the bass guitar I had at the time and bought a plane ticket, and I came here with 2 suitcases and lived on a farm. I don't know, we were both just really dedicated to finally getting it off the ground, because I had sent him, when I first wrote like some songs in 2014, like I had him on a SoundCloud and sent them to him, and he always said he wanted to drum on Drugstore Anthem, and I was on the whole album.
Ah, yeah, okay, Drugstore Anthem.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the song that we should focus on. It's the opening track. We have this song to thank for Partition, for the band.
In a way, for sure. It's the first one.
Yeah. The band, like, self-generated out of this song.
I would say so. This was the first song I ever wrote when I was like, I'm not half bad.
Yeah. That's okay, and it introduces the theme. You said, I'm not that bad. The black sheep is not that bad. The theme of good and bad and love and hate keeps on coming up.
Yeah.
And I think relates to the concept of partition and this
Absolutely.
paradox, yeah? So in Drugstore Anthem, equal power, love and hate, the only difference is the taste. So we're kind of exploding this dichotomy,
Exactly.
yeah? And then the same kind of thing with good and bad. Where does that happen? That happens most clearly in That Will Change. I've had a nice day and I love you, but that will change.
Yeah.
Becomes I've had a bad day and I hate you, but that will change. Which then becomes I feel so alone right now. That will change. So I think that's really clever.
It's about my, like, I have borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
So.
You were in code revealing that.
Yeah.
I think through the lyrics. I'm really impressed by this song. That Will Change.
That was the only song written in Minneapolis.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was one written in 2018, I guess. Yeah.
It could be, yeah, and I thought it could be, it's like an anthem,
Yeah.
like the BPD anthem.
Hell yeah.
Because it's like, okay, sometimes this, sometimes that, and this too shall pass.
Right, you just got to ride it out.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Are there other songs that explore the same, so this is basically a song about borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would say my other songs, I was not as aware and being able to notice it in myself. Because this is like, that was after I went to rehab and had therapy and stuff. Because before I was kind of an unwitting participant, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Which,
yeah.
I mean, but the interesting thing is that humans are unwitting participants in general. So,
Telling me.
yes. So once one realizes and develops the awareness that, that enables the creation of that will change, the song that will change, that's something really powerful, like that awareness, and really important, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a big part of my journey, just learning to understand myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're kind of ahead of the game of understanding everyone to some extent. I think the awareness that's shared in specifically that song, but also the exploration and the explosion of the dichotomy of love and hate and good and bad is important for humans, for everyone.
Right.
There's something else that there's a really powerful awareness about throughout the songs is the relationship between addiction and trauma, I think.
Yeah.
And that really comes through in Get Clean and other songs too. Is that something that is intentional, or is that something you're kind of recognizing more now as you've returned to the songs?
I would say it just kind of went hand in hand, because I would keep getting into kind of awful situations.
Yeah.
And also doing drugs doesn't help. So
Yeah.
it just kind of came together.
Yeah, but you can say doing drugs doesn't help, but it's not just a choice, oh, I feel like doing some drugs. It's like,
I want to make my brain quiet and not think about
yeah,
the
exactly.
trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's this other Paul, I will get clean for Mama.
Yeah.
Another song where we're breaking down the good-bad dichotomy is, and a bruise can come from good times too.
Yeah, that's the ballad, I call it.
Yeah. And that one has this kind of sludgy feel, and there's sludgy parts in many of the songs, like in Prodigal Gun. It kind of slows down.
Yeah.
And it's like we're wading through like muddy waters or
Yeah,
something.
you could thank Seth for that one.
Yeah, thank you, Seth.
You're very welcome.
Congratulations. I get to say congratulations to you too. So sonically, that strikes me as really significant. It's not, I mean, it sounds really cool, but there's something more, to me, it's beyond just sounding cool. Like wading through the muddy waters feel, or however you want to describe it,
right,
is significant. How so, do you think?
I just feel like sonically I wanted that song, and of course this is just from my perspective, to feel like you're cold and you're finally under a warm blanket. You're finally, I don't know, because it's kind of like that song is basically being like, I'd get bruises from my previous boyfriend, and then I got like a hickey from my next boyfriend, which is kind of like a bruise. So like bruises can come from good times too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's true. I like it.
I say that too.
That's in the song.
Yeah.
Let's delve into the religious connotations a bit more. Some of the best and most shocking lyrics are in Shut Your Mouth. When she's on her knees, you know she's not praying. When she comes for the night, you know she's not staying. I think that there's, as much as it's kind of using juxtaposition to shock, and it's just clever and funny.
Yeah.
I think that there's also a kind of like redeeming, there's a kind of redemption going on here, and a continuation of this like explosion of the good-bad consciousness. Like the person who is on their knees not praying is also not bad.
Yeah.
Can you reflect a bit more on that?
On that lyric, to me, it kind of is like almost female empowerment. Like she came and she gets to leave. Like she's done with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of the other way around.
Yeah, she's used the person.
Yeah. Instead of the other way around, as
exactly.
it often is portrayed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the word, in using the word used in a kind of neutral way. It's not like, oh, she's manipulative and using.
Right.
It's like, actually, yeah, this person is finding their way, and through self-acceptance is not the victim.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
You're telling me?
Yeah. I'm just, yeah. I am, and it's it's all there. Really
I love
important.
getting to talk about lyrics. It's like that's my favorite part of songwriting.
Yeah.
Like for me, music is
You're telling me.
like supposed to. The sound is we're supposed to reflect the lyrics. That's my ethos of making music.
Yeah. Hence the sludgy wading through the water.
Yeah.
Because it is a battle. It is like a challenge, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
To maintain the integrity. Like again, this figure here, who is managing through self-acceptance to be like self-determined and maintain their integrity,
Yeah.
like, whilst being stigmatized.
Yeah.
And it is like wading through water
For sure.
with few people
Some
seeing and
weeds.
understanding. Yeah. And this theme of the what you're saying about female empowerment is something that will be talked about a lot in the Red Eye Ruby interview too. That is the main narrative thread in the Red Eye Ruby record.
Oh, word.
So there is this much in a bill that was supposed to be like eclectic, like the themes are the same.
Yeah.
Which is very good, and they're good, important themes.
Yeah.
Cowboy mouth. All of my friends that are well off. Sorry, all of my friends, they are well off. Well, I'm off, but I'm not well, is a nice, clever lyric too.
I had a lot of friends in college that were like rich and
Yeah.
didn't have like issues, and it's like, yeah, I'm just doing kind of a wordplay where I felt like
Yeah.
I didn't know where they kind of hung out with me because I was like weird and kind of fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of came off that way.
Yeah, and they were kind of blissfully unaware of some aspects of the human condition.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like the significance of how resources are distributed and how one empowers oneself.
Right. And they don't even know to be thankful for the things they've had because they've always
Right.
had them.
Yeah, and gratitude is such a powerful thing to keep us on track.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and then you discover, through being off but not well,
Yeah.
there's this kind of paradoxical, good possibility of discovering the power of gratitude.
Yeah, for sure. That's something I've definitely discovered through my journey. Because even when things are hard, I'm just like, I have so much more now than I've ever had.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, my band really means a lot to me. And it's all I've ever wanted. You
Yeah.
know, so even when something's shitty, it's like I've still got the band. We have a record out finally. You know?
Yeah.
So you have to just kind of step back and not get so, hung up on things.
Yeah. So we've been talking about integrity and radical self-acceptance, effectively.
Yeah.
And in Always Gotta Win, a lyric that jumps out to me there is, I'm such a faker to get what I want. And we were talking about, mutually, we were talking about using people. So like the person who is cast as the victim, like little does everyone know, but the way in which they're doing this thing actually is very empowering.
Yeah.
And they're the one with the power,
Right.
using in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it leads to acceptance
Yeah.
and integrity. Yeah, when there's a kind of feeling shame for trying to control the resources. I'm such a faker to get what I want. So sometimes there's feelings of shame that come with an awareness that, well, I'm just selfishly trying to get what I want.
Yeah.
And rather than succumbing to that feeling of shame, the record seems to encourage and exemplify a more radical kind of selfishness that actually serves everyone.
Don't even get me into that.
Yeah.
I could go for days on that.
Do you want to go for maybe not days, but
Yeah.
minutes?
Well, I
What's
don't feel like...
You've always got to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
You can't constantly be sitting around being like, I need to be a people pleaser. I need
Yeah.
to do things for other people so they'll like me.
Yeah.
Because then you're just putting on a front of, like, if I stop doing these things for people, then they, won't hang out with me. And
Yes,
all that
exactly.
you need to do things for you. You need to do it for your own choice.
Yeah,
It's a radical idea in the Midwest, that's for sure.
yes, I've noticed this.
We're both foreigners in our own way.
Yeah, we're aliens. It's good to be an alien.
I would be one no matter where I went.
In a very real way, the people-pleasing people are the fakers that are such fakers to get what they want.
Oh yeah, and they don't even know it in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
And they get aggressive at people who are themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, why don't you hold yourself to the same rigid standards I hold myself to? I'm like, no one's asking you to do that.
Right. Authenticity and integrity is scary for people that,
Yeah.
and all of us are, working towards that ideally. Always got to win. We feel challenged when someone is being authentic in a specific way that we feel that we're not. Yeah.
That song is like almost like an ironic proclamation of, I don't want to say self-defiance, because it's just like, it felt like heroin would always win, like it always succeeds. And I had a friend pass away, and it's just like, there it went again,
Yeah.
So it just kind of felt like, I don't know, kind of an ironic being like, you win again.
Yeah.
Type deal.
It seemed there's this seeming inevitability.
Yeah.
Especially, if we think again about how addiction develops, because of abuse and not being accepted externally.
Yeah.
To turn that around through radical self-acceptance whilst the stigma kind of continues seems impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations. As we near the end, let's focus on the final song, Freudian Slip.
Yeah.
I keep spinning in circles, and sonically, again, you saying how the songs follow the lyrics.
Yeah.
That is spinning in circles.
Literally with the fingers.
Yeah.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah, so I love that, and it oscillates between this spinning in circles, and then I feel the next bit, it feels like there's a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So spinning in circles, and then for a while, like.
That's how it
hurtling
feels to me,
forward.
honestly.
Yeah. What is the significance of that shifting sonically?
Well, it changes what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because originally the verses on that line, it was more of like a feminist song
Yeah.
in the verses, but then I kind of changed it to be about like my first boyfriend lying to me.
Yeah, I love the way you lie. It sounds just like the truth.
Yeah, he was a good liar. He really was.
Impressive.
Props.
Yeah.
And then the chorus kind of goes into like talking about like my daddy and my mommy issues, which is why it's called Freudian Slip. Because
Yeah.
it's like, mother, father and stuff.
Yeah. Again, related to the partition, like
Yeah.
in the first 60 seconds of our interview.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle.
It does.
Always does.
Yeah, full circle, in loop. Keep spinning in circles.
Yeah.
And then we go on the line for a bit. The final lyrics on the record, it's like a poem. I'm going to read a fair amount. Piss enough people off, die alone. And then, I know what I want, and I know how to get it. And when I get it, it's all gone. So be my saint, my favorite sin. We are both in need. That's really intriguing. That opens
I will
up-
have to say,
Yeah.
Be My Saint, My Favorite Sin, We Are Both in Need is from a Lydia Lunch book.
Lydia Lunch.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
only thing I didn't write.
Okay. And what?
Don't want to
but that
pretend like I stole it.
resonates.
Oh,
And
yeah.
What does that mean to you? Be my favorite sin. We are both in need.
Well, I always love Christian references.
Yeah.
And I just really like the dichotomy of being a saint and a sin all in one,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's something that saves you, but it's also something that's not good for you.
Right. Yeah. And that's all sinners. Yeah. It's something that's not good for you. I like
But
this.
it's still relief in a way, otherwise people wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's just not it doesn't meet the deepest need.
Yeah.
But maybe the deepest need isn't what we need to be meeting all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Itching to scratch.
Exactly.
That will itch again.
Exactly. Yeah, we can't be our
Long-term
authentic
thinkers all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're human.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, fortunately. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
Yeah.
We never get to talk about lyrics. Our last interview was all salacious, it felt like. So nice to
Yeah.
actually talk about music. It's
But,
cool.
yeah, and there's some really profound stuff going on, even when it seems most salacious, or especially when it seems most salacious.
Yeah.
Um,
I try to keep content.
Yeah, it's great. The deep awareness of needs. We are both in need. We are all in need of acceptance.
Yeah.
And as like the black sheep that is cast by others as the black sheep and not externally accepted,
Right.
the black sheep is the creature that if it does accept itself, is the best educator about
Right.
need and the meeting of needs.
And it's really like, people say you can't, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? It's so true,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I don't think I really knew what love was until I started loving myself, and that was
Yeah.
a long journey.
Right. Well, again, we'll start full circle. Congratulations. The journey continues. And the next stop on the journey is Mortimers. For
Absolutely.
the showcase. This
It's our
coming
favorite place to
Thursday.
play, actually.
Ooh.
We love Mortimers.
I love Mortimers too.
Great choice.
Yeah, I never hate Mortimers.
Me too.
Some things that we love, we also hate. Mortimers is an exception.
Mortimers is an exception. Except maybe the parking.
Yeah, there we go. We have to hate something.
Get there early.
And that will change, I think. They will get a parking lot, I think.
No
before too
way.
long. Yeah,
Well,
I think
see,
so.
our van actually might be
Fingers
fixed by
crossed.
then. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
I just
wow.
got my tax return, so we're going on tour
Yeah,
as well.
okay, the future. There's this, heaven. Heaven where all the needs are met is in the not distant future by the sounds of things.
Well, I think if all your needs are met, it's a little boring.
Sounds pretty boring.
Yeah.
You gotta work for
This
it.
is more fun. There's no punk music
Yeah.
when that happens.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Hooray for diversity.
Ooh.
Thank God for DIY.
Yes. Thank God and the devil for DIY.
They're raging, so sure.
Yeah. Good collaboration. Okay. Well, that was really fun.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you
having
this
us.
journey. You're very welcome. I'll see you at Mortimers on Thursday.
Absolutely.
With Red Eye Ruby and Gambler's Daughter and
Druzzy Rose.
Druzy. Yeah,
Is it
Druzy Rose.
Is it Druzy?
That's the thing. You have to come and ask them. You have
That's
to come
right.
to Mortimers and ask, is it Druzy
I'll be
or
wearing
Druzzy?
something cooler.
I won't.
Me too. We'll be wearing something different. It'll be a surprise.
I won't change my clothes.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This has been Back to the City. Back to the City will be back on Thursday next week at 10 p.m. And I've been Simon Calder. Thank you for taking this journey with us. Bye for now. See you at Mortimers.